This video is going to give you 11 things you might not know about Marvel Rivals, and this is going to be covering some secret details regarding some of the characters that are within this game. First of all is that Punisher can actually see enemies through walls. So as you can see here, once you start firing at an enemy, it detects that one of these drones is one, and then you can actually ping them through the wall as well, which is really cool. So you can actually ping an enemy through a wall, so your full entire team can actually see that an enemy is present. Star-Lord. Now, the jetpacks do have quite a good range on them, and you can fly around the map, obviously, but soon as you start firing, it stops working. So that's the first thing I do want to mention. But also, you do use a lot of the jetpack's health, and obviously you're an easy target to hit. The only kind of main abilities that you have is the flips, but obviously you only get 2 of these until they become on a cooldown. Now, in between that time, what you actually want to be using is what I call the jump thrust cancel. So you jump thrust, cancel the thrust, and take the momentum with you. So that's what you actually want to do. So it's jump thrust cancel and then fire, jump thrust cancel and then fire, and then jump thrust cancel and then fire. And in between that, you can obviously have your flips as well. But that is actually how you want to use Star-Lord with proper movement mechanics. So we all know Moon Knight has a grapple hook where he can grip onto objects, he can glide off as well. But did you know that you didn't always need to grip onto something? Because if you're stuck in a situation where there's nothing to grab onto, you can literally grip onto the ground, it will launch you into the air where you can double jump and then also glide as well. So you don't always need something to grip onto. So the coolest part of Mr. Fantastic is being the tank and using his tank ability. But the only issue with this is that it takes so much time to build up this ability using his primary attack. So this is the quickest combo to get into this. So the first thing is a melee right into a whip grab, then you launch them, then you can attack them one more time, bash them again, and that is you in tank form pretty much straight away. And you can pretty much constantly repeat this. And even when some of your abilities are on cooldown, all you need to do is activate the shield mode, wait until your abilities have cooled down again, and then just repeat the process, whip them, grab them, launch them, bash again. That's you pretty much maxed it out. Tank ability and ready to go all over again. It's actually so quick how this works. So the next step is with Doctor Strange's portal. So what you want to do is position one on the ground in front of you. The other one can be positioned wherever you want. Relatively high ground, behind an enemy team, wherever you want to put it. But the important thing here is that you position the first one on the ground so you can actually jump through it and gain momentum as you're coming through. So you don't want just a basic kind of attack, you want to gain that momentum of coming down on an enemy. So the whole point in this is to gain the extra thrust that you get from jumping through the portal. Now if you want to be a little bit extra, you can also fly up and do this as well, and fly in instead. But like I said, this is the best way to use Doctor Strange's portal, so don't just walk through it. So the next tip is with Loki and using the Winter Soldier's ultimate ability. Now what's special about the Winter Soldier's ultimate ability is that you can basically keep spamming it and it keeps refreshing Loki's ultimate. So that means you can literally stay as the Winter Soldier as long as you're getting kills. I mean, it's easier said than done, but once you keep doing this, you can literally stay as the Winter Soldier indefinitely and you're taking out the team. So as long as you're killing the low health or low HP characters, you can stay as Loki or stay as the Winter Soldier as Loki forever, and eventually you will go back to normal once your timer runs out. The next hero is the Invisible Woman, and there's probably something you don't know about this character. So you can use the vortex ability, which if you hit a target, it's going to bring them down to the bottom of the ground, especially flying characters like Iron Man. Now, something you probably didn't know is that if you fire the vortex ability, you can actually activate it yourself whenever you want by hitting the button again. So you don't even need to hit Iron Man directly. You can hit him kind of semi in the middle and it'll bring him down to the ground and on his knees. So this will get a lot of the flying characters out the air and sucked into your vortex. And if you time it correctly, you don't even need to hit them on target. Here's another tip with Loki. Now, let's say you summon your doppelgangers and you're using them for a fight, whatever it may be. You're using your doppelgangers, then you die, unfortunately. And then the doppelgangers are still there. So all you need to do is fire in the rough direction And as you can see, the doppelgangers are also firing as well, so they'll still deal the damage towards the enemy player or heal your teammates in the process. So as you can see here, if you're still aiming in that direction, you can do that. Even if you fire the ground that's near them, that is going to give you a rough idea. And it takes a little bit of time to practice this, to be honest. So like I said, if as long as you're aiming in that direction, you should be dealing the damage or whatever it may be once you spawned in. So like I said, just aim pretty well in that general direction and you'll either get kills or you'll get heals for your team. And the good thing is you can actually see your teammates through walls anyway, so just aim in their direction and you should be giving them free heals. Very simple one, but you need to be making sure you use it with Invisible Woman, which is her melee ability. So the melee is a 1, 2, 3, then a force push, which is a 5-meter distance, which you've seen right there. As you can see, that pushes the enemy quite a good distance away. Considering that her actual ability that has a cooldown pushes 10 meters, you get half that distance just with a melee attack, which you can use constantly. So make sure you are using the melee ability if you are within the range. Obviously, the only difference is it doesn't have that same kind of melee distance that the actual ability has. The next thing is that you can actually build ramps with Groot. So as you can see, you can adjust the angle of the wall if you press the correct button. So if you press L1, you can build the wall. Then you can do it again and build. And then if you wait a couple of seconds for the final one, you can actually do it again and adjust the wall and build it. And there you go, you've built a ramp where you can actually get to much higher ground with Groot. Now the only issue is you can't build your main ironwood wall on top of these, which is the only annoying thing. You can adjust the angle of this, obviously, but this is not going to help you. So you can kind of build some kind of like cover shelter thing as well, kind of like a Fortnite type thing. So the next thing you didn't know, which is a new addition with the new characters within Marvel Rivals, is if you use Doctor Strange's portal. So you want to reposition this, place it maybe around about here or something of this nature, and then place the other one off the edge of the map as we usually do. So this will basically allow you to then use a different character, which is the Invisible Woman. And as the Invisible Woman, what you actually want to do here is use the Force Burst attack, then push them through the portal. And that is the new way on how to use Doctor Strange's portal ability. So the final tip is with the Hulk. Now the important thing is his jump. And that is the most important thing you need to learn with the Hulk, and everyone that makes guides will teach you this. But one important thing I do want to mention is that you want to have this charged up constantly. So you need to have this charged up. You can attack whilst you're doing it. You can use all of your abilities whilst you're holding this charge at the same time, ready for your next leap. And you always want to have this constantly charged up. Now what you want to make sure on controller is that on default, this is set to X for the jump, as you already know, but it is also set to L2 as well, which makes it so much easier to do and just lock in at L2. And then that means you can just get ready to jump as soon as you finished your action. Whatever you need to do, you can jump away straight away. So there we have it. Those are all of our tips. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and leave down in the comments below which one is your favorite tips, so that we can add them in to a future video. Thank you very much for watching.